Alright, so in this video I'm going to be covering what I carry in my personal Pelican as an A1 audio engineer. I do everything from corporate events, weddings, I step into venues, I own my own production company, and I have a weekly church gig. So this is kind of my just everyday gig bag. I have another bag that has more computer tech stuff in it, I guess, that kind of has the iPad and a laptop and everything. So that I might cover that in another video, but this is my Pelican as it's landed. I believe I've had this for about 8 years now. So without further ado, this is my Pelican 1510. I have the Trek pack in the bottom, and I also have the lid organizer. I believe both pieces are absolutely critical to keeping organized in this thing, because stuff can get buried pretty quickly. So this is my Pelican as it stands. I've got handheld tools up here. I have inputs along this top row on the bottom, DIs, microphones, and clips. Got a set of headphones, and then I have my tool belt here. And it's more of a, I don't really wear this a lot, but it just kind of holds everything in one spot. So I'll start with the top lid here. As I said, these are the handheld tools. The very top I have a dB meter, and I also have an extra battery in here. Very handy. I check this against my phone periodically, and it seems to, they seem to line up with each other and be happy with each other, so I've been pretty happy with that. That's a Dr. Meter dB reader. I also have this Fluke laser distance meter. This is great for ballrooms, getting your layout, finding the center of the room, measuring distances between subwoofers, doing fill delays. This thing is really useful. I did lead production for a band in Virginia, and as a going away gift, the bass player and the guitar player kind of got me this, and I use it all the time. So Dan and Mike, thank you for this. This has been great. In that same pocket, kind of random, but I 3D printed this little clip that you put a 57 on one side and a small diaphragm condenser on the other. This doesn't get used a lot, but it's there if I need it, which is pretty cool. The next pouch is my sound bullet. This thing is awesome. This might be my favorite piece of kit. For those of you who don't know, it's just basically a signal sender. You can send things XLR going both ways, and this thing is built like a tank. If you look up the videos, the guys at Sonnect have really outdone themselves with quality. The inside of this thing is just insanely complex, but it lets you know if you have bad pen, if you have a faulty phantom power. It also tests your cables. You plug in an XLR from both sides, and it'll let you know with great accuracy what pin is bad. So this thing is awesome. This is my it's not my fault box. I can send a signal down an XLR line and let a guitar player or a keyboard player know, hey, I'm getting it at the board. There's something between you and me that aren't agreeing. So just a nice little testing unit. Really just a great thing. And it also does DI boxes. It's got a little 1/4 inch adapter here that you can send a signal straight down a DI box. In that same little pocket, I have this tiny little strand of wire, just in case. These things, you never know when you just need a little piece of wire. I've used a little piece of wire like this. Strainers on snares, Of course, if you need to solder a little wire, if you've got a ground or something, I don't know. I just really like having this little piece of wire there. It makes me feel safe. The next pouch, a little less exciting, but a real long phone charger. We'll get into this later, but I have a tool that uses these A23 batteries. So those go, and then some note cards for when the wedding planner has told you nothing is working and we are going off book and off script. I can write my stuff down so that I don't lose my head. And in this fifth and last compartment in the lid, I have pens and pencils. Honestly, a random selection. I usually am a little more picky, but this is just what has ended up here. And then I have my soldering gun. This is a pretty cheap soldering gun, but I've rewired entire guitars with this thing, and just a little thing of solder there, flux core solder, so that I don't have to worry about using any of that stuff on site. So now we'll go down to the main compartment here. Like again, I said, I have the Trek pack, so you can see all the little dividers. This first row is inputs. So I've got a couple of Radial DI boxes here. These are just the passive guys. And then a random carabiner. I'm not quite sure where this came from. And then I have basically a full band plus 2 horns mic kit here. I've got kick, snare, toms, guitars, and a couple of other random stuff. I'll just start with kick here. Is a Sennheiser E902. Man, this thing, I have 2 of these. This has been a fantastic mic. For snare, I actually use this side address PGA 181. If you can see, it has been through hell, and I love this mic. It is so nice and open. It's throaty. It has a cool low end. This has been one of my favorite little mic finds that I personally use pretty much everywhere. As far as tom mics go, I've got a set of the ND series. I have 2 ND44 and 1 ND46. These things are great. I love the articulation with the pivot head here. And they just sound good. You can get them exactly where you want them. And then this thing is beefy, really beefy. It's not as beefy as the 902. For my low floor tom in the studio, I like using this as my low floor tom. I said I have 2 of these. And I'll use this as my mid tom. I also have a couple of these EV Indy 308s. These are really cool mics. You can hang them on a guitar cab real easy, or use them for horns. I've gotten compliments on horns with these. Just fantastic mics. Of course, a 57. I have an i5. I have a 609. And then I usually have like a 58 here or something. It's buried somewhere in my mic case in my trailer, so don't have that out right now, but you know what a Shure SM58 is, I'm sure. Get it? Alright, so my headphones, I've had these guys for a long time and I really know them very well. They are the Beyerdynamic DT770 Pro. I believe these are the 80 ohm version, and I keep them in this case. I'm habitual about this case. I think this was a case on Amazon for like $12 or so, but been able to keep up with these really well, and they're in like new condition. I also have one of these little folding, not really folding, but take apart headphone stands. I gaff tape these to the sides of racks all the time, or sides of mixing desks. Sometimes you can wedge it underneath the mixing board. So that's just kind of jams down in there. And I guess I'll go back to this mic thing because you probably don't know what this is. So I'm just going to take all these mics out of this. This is some Kaizen foam that I have drilled holes in and placed in this compartment here. So these have been hollowed out. I believe I started with a drill bit and then just kind of smushed them down in there. But they seem to work great. It's nice and easy to push everything down. They kind of go in a different order every time, a little bit different order. But this has been an amazing addition to my organization. Otherwise, these mics were just everywhere. So that's where I'm at with that. This has been really useful. I like this system a lot. We talked about the headphones, so now we can go into my last bin here, which is my tool bin. I don't really wear this. I believe I said that already. I kind of lay this out. This is the last clip for the floor tom here. But this is nice to just lay out on a stage or lay out, on a side fill or something and grab and go from. If I'm up on a ladder, I will put it on me so that I have access. Just to ride inside is I know this looks like a mess, but it's a Apple dongle that charges and passes audio. We have a charger here, and we have both RCA and 1/4 inch components here. So I can walk up to any board and reliably get house music going. It drives me insane when there's no house music going for whatever reason. And having these, I have a couple of these in my packs, one in my backpack, a couple of these Apple dongles, because these will make or break a show these days. So this is, I think I got this little pouch from Walmart here. I'll let you take a look at it. There's not too much going on with it. It just kind of keeps everything together. I do have a wrench down here that can be put in here. So I'll just go one by one. I've got a 8-inch crescent wrench. I've got a 10-in-1 screwdriver. This is really nice. It's got all sorts of, each one comes out, and then there's a whole other side to it as well. So that's really nice. I use that a lot. This has gotten me out of some particularly bad jams. One of my favorite things is silver Sharpie on gaff tape. It makes my heart happy. So a couple of silver Sharpies. Stop labeling your stuff with masking tape, please. It leaves residue and it looks awful. You're welcome. A couple of pens, and then this is another audio tester that I have. This is by Sound Tools, which I believe is David Ratt's company, but this is another type of way to send signal to and from two different places. So snake heads, long cable runs, if you just want to test when everything is right. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe. When everything is right, you get 3 lights on one end and 1 light on the other. So this is a nice little addition. This is the little guy that uses these A23 batteries. So what I do is I just twist it until it's off, and he just kind of holds right in there. I've got some electrical tape hanging from this guy, a little battery tester, which is used pretty handy. It does button batteries and does AAAs. Some more Sharpies, some zip ties, and then finally my Leatherman Wingman. I went to a couple of different stores to find this guy. He's the fold-out kind. It's got clippers and the pliers and the needle nose. And then of course all the little things on the inside, but I really liked it because you didn't have to open it to get to the knife and the scissors. So both of those things are super accessible. And it even has what they call a package opener, but this thing was made for zip ties on truss, or anything really. But this was my selling point for this. This is the Wingman. So awesome little audio nerd find there. It's got everything that I could ask for. Underneath I've got an extra blade that's just for like if I know I'm gonna have to cut something off, tie line against truss. This is a sharp blade, but just in case I don't want to mess up my Leatherman, I do have just an extra blade down in there. Another thing I travel with that kind of jumps back and forth between my computer kit is this super heavy duty charging brick with a light on it. This has been really helpful just for the iPads and all of that stuff. And I usually have a mini screwdriver kit in here. I think I took that out because I was working on a guitar, but I usually have the mini screwdriver kit that's a 5-piece that fits right down in here. And that's it. This kit I can walk pretty confidently into any venue or any circumstance and be able to get signal, be able to have inputs and a drum mic kit and a couple extra things. If we don't have vocal mics, you know what? We're further from where we need to be than what this kit allows. But as far as functionality, this has been really great. I think it's not that heavy. It looks heavier than it is. And of course it's on wheels. But this is my Pelican 1510. Thanks for checking it out, and thanks for tuning in to another video from Sonic Flow Audio. Please hit us up if you are interested in any of the services that we have to offer. I want to try to maintain this channel as a free channel for information and learning, kind of via Eric Valentine. I just want to do these in my free time and share the knowledge that I have. And through this, I'm hoping that other people will reach out to me for services that I actually offer, which is recording services, live sound services. I'm a woodworker. I'm excited about the world in front of me, and I am excited to share it with you. So thanks for checking it out, and we'll see you on the next one. Thanks.